Welcome back. Now we take your questions. If you have a question yourself, send it to us at QuranSpeaks.com. So Dr. Shabir, what is qira'at and the way you recite it when it comes to reading the Quran?
Well, the Quran and its recitation has become now a very developed science. Trained readers pay attention to every syllable, to every bit of pronunciation, and insist that it must be done in a very specific way. There are many different reading traditions. Each one is called a qira'ah, or a reading. And how does this tradition relate to history? Somebody who is being trained today will know his teacher and will generally be given a certificate upon graduation that shows his link not only with his teacher, but with teachers of his teacher up until way back to early generations of Muslims, and even ending with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
So how did these different recitations come about, like these different forms? Were they something that were taught by the Prophet, or?
Some of the early reports about how the Quran was being read by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and by his companions leave some puzzling questions in the wake of them. And scholars try to put these reports together to make sense of what has happened. And there are different theories about how things have happened. But one way of understanding the whole phenomenon is that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a public preacher. He was standing up and delivering sermons. And these sermons were memorized by his companions and also written down. But various companions may have memorized some of the wording slightly differently, and also written down the sermon slightly differently. But each one of these companions captured the meaning of what the Prophet, peace be upon him, recited or publicly orated. And that meaning is preserved in these variety of forms by the companions. Some companions are known by name. They're very popular, like Abdullah bin Mas'ud, Ubay bin Ka'b. And their method of reciting the Quran may also be referred to as a qira'ah, as a recitation, or sometimes it's referred to by another Arabic word, a harf. So somebody may say this is in the harf of Ibn Mas'ud or Ubay bin Ka'b. So that information that was there available among the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was then taught to the next generation. With all of the varieties that were there, with this companion having it in this form, this other companion having it in this other form, naturally when this is taught to the next generation, it becomes very complex to deal with. One person has to now think, do I learn it from Ubay bin Ka'b, or do I learn it from Ibn Mas'ud? But so that information needs to be distilled. If we think of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, dropping a large number of beads into a container, and then the container has little funnels that will channel some of the beads so that somebody can capture some in a cup. Or somebody captures some else in another cup. Yeah. So it seems like something like this must be understood to explain how now this large stock of information given by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is now distilled and collected by various, not only his companions, but also now the students of those companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him. And so we get in the end the distillation of distinct qira'at or recitations. Nowadays, some 7 are regarded as mutawatir, or received by us, not through just 2 cups or 2 chains or 2 funnels, but through multiple chains.
So if the overarching, when it comes to these different recitations, if the overall meaning and concept is the same, then is it just a matter of different versions of recitation that is that's the overarching factor?
Yeah, if you allow me, I said that there are 7 which are received through multiple chains. Some other scholars say that there are actually another 10 which are received through multiple chains. So I just wanted to add that
Definitely,
in.
yes.
But now your question is also pertinent. Are they just different ways of reciting? Does it make a difference? Well, the different ways of reciting sometimes give you a different shade of meaning, but basically the same basic meaning. So if you're asking about the guidance from God, like so why does a person turn to the Quran today or at any time in history? One wants to find out, what is God saying to me? What does God want me to do? So it's not so much the very precise instruction, because even if you have a text of the Quran with very precise wording, as you do, you still need commentary on that. But the bottom line is, when we take the various recitations, are we getting the same guidance? And the answer to that is yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shabir.
You're welcome.